welcome to the Man Cave's Trupla Man segment. Joining us on tonight's show is a very popular guy at the moment. He's got a brand new song that's out on radio, and yeah, he's been very popular on the internet as well. Joining me on Trupla Man, let's make welcome Trigarow. Welcome back home,
What's up,
brother.
bro? It's good to see you, man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
We've been following your,
Right.
what you've been doing in
Yeah.
music and everything over the past 3 years or so.
Definitely.
It's been gradually growing.
Yes.
And but before we get into your music, just briefly tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is, I go by the name Trigarow. My government name
Your
is
government
Brent
name.
Salse.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 22 years old. I was born in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. I'm based in Auckland, New Zealand, and I'm an artist. I'm not a rapper, I'm an artist.
The first time you moved over to New Zealand, you're about what, 6?
Yeah, 6 years old,
Yeah.
7 years old.
Six,
yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it easy settling in over there? I mean, you were still a kid yet, but
I remember the first day at school when we went to New Zealand, and I cried like hell for my mom. I didn't want her to leave. I was like, what the hell is it? All these kids are white and shit. Like, it was, yeah, but it was good. Like, a culture shock, but I think over time we settled in quite well. And it was a good fit, I think, at the time, yeah. Now, in hindsight tells you a lot. Like, at the time, I sort of didn't like it, but now, looking back, it was good for where we are now, I guess.
this is actually where it all started for
Yes,
you, eh?
yes.
Before we started filming, you were just telling me it's like a full circle thing, huh?
It is.
So this
Yeah.
is where you found out about Fruity Loops
Yes.
first and making beats. Tell us a bit about
Yeah.
that.
So I was like, what? I would have been like, so this was after we moved back from Wellington the first time when we moved there at 6 years old. We'd stay there for 4 years and we came back here, and I was about 10, 11 years old. And my dad, he was a lecturer at the University of Papua New Guinea, and he would work with computer technicians and whatnot for his job. So one of the uncles had like an old computer, and he had installed Fruity Loop 6 on it, and he knew it was a music program, but he was just like, oh, the kids would like to play with this maybe. So he gave it to my dad, and my dad was like, oh, Brent, Uncle Ben's put this program on this computer, you should just check it out. And I like put it off for a while, but I was always into music, so I was just like, okay, I'll check it out. Started, fiddling around with it, and then I ended up staying in there for hours every day, it just amazed me that you could make these real sounds from like a computer, and like that was the first thing that caught my eye, that like I didn't need like drums or like our actual guitar, which I couldn't afford at the time. I could actually just use like this little computer and make my little cool beats and sound cool, yeah. So yeah, that's actually how it all started, yeah.
All right. Now to your passion, hip hop, and
Yes.
what you're doing right now.
Yes.
How did you get hooked onto it, and when was that?
I actually think hip hop came later. I think first it was poetry.
Okay.
Because when we moved to Wellington the first time when I was younger, I remember being in primary school, and every day or something, you'd have poems, and if you memorize the poem, you'd get like a little star or something.
Okay.
And then I used to always memorize the poems, and then I ended up, it became a thing where it wasn't about the star anymore. I actually liked doing the poems, and then from then on, I just started writing poems. And then when I came here, I used to listen to like Akon, a lot of other people, and then I just gravitated towards rap naturally. I guess because of the skin color and whatnot, and it was like I could identify with them, sort of thing. And then it just, from poetry and all that and liking music, it just fused together into doing rap, hip hop. Yeah.
When you were back in New Zealand, you were at Mount Albert, right?
Yes, I was.
All right. You guys came up with the song "Blue and Yellow"
Yeah.
with your mates
Victor and Daly.
Yeah,
Yes.
Victor and Daly. Now, was that track sort of something that got you thinking, I could do this for real?
After it came out, yes. Actually, I wasn't expecting anything. Like, to be honest with you, I had not heard the original Wiz Khalifa song until like the boys
really?
in the I didn't even know about the song, but it was all the boys in the dorm were like, because they knew I was making music, and they're like, bro, you should remix this. Oh, this Black and Yellow song is hot. Remix one for the school. Remix. I like put it off, all right, and then I ended up doing it. But I was always trying to find a way to get out there, right? So, but I did it, and that was the one I did not expect. But I think it was just one of those timing things, because at that time, like, our school rugby team was on like a crazy run. We became national champions and stuff there. Yeah, so like school pride was like at a crazy height.
Yeah.
We dropped the song, bro. Like I remember I was actually suspended from school, so I was like, different story. But I was suspended.
Different story.
Yeah, I was suspended from school, and I was at the homestay's house to upload the video. So I had not the video, the song onto the internet. So I'd finished the song, showed it to my dorm boys and stuff, and we all thought it was hard. Like when we were in the dorm, everyone was vibing out, all these kids were going crazy, and I hadn't released it yet. So when I was stood down from school, I used the internet at my homestay's house to upload the song. I uploaded it, I went to dinner. When I was at dinner, my phone was going off. Like I was getting texts, notifications, was going crazy. I was like, yo, I might have something here. And like in the first week we hit like 3,000 plays, and then 10, 20, you know, like the number just kept going. And then like, and then I went to school, and then like all the kids driving past were playing it, like in their cars and stuff. Everyone had it on their phones, Bluetooth, like they were sending it back and forth to each other on their phones and stuff. And it was just one of those things there. I wanted it to happen like that, but I wasn't expecting it. You know, so yeah, it just, and then from Blue and Yellow, it snowballed, and then people became interested in what I was doing, I guess, yeah.
Just the music when reality hit. Signed to Parachute Music, now your homie legit. I went from house party freestyle, flowing with kids, to meeting industry peeps, making thousands of dollar bids. Walk around the corner, people recognize what it is.
Your writing technique,
yes.
It's I mean, obviously came out of, you know, your love for poetry.
Yes.
It's amazing. Was it something that you know, was easy because of the poetry, or did you have to work hard, you know, to get it to that point?
No, I definitely had to work at it. I definitely had to work at it. You should hear some of my old first runs there, like, I don't get him. But yeah, I definitely had to work at it over time, eh? Like, apart from just writing, I had to like read a lot of books. I read like the Bibles and the Psalms a lot, especially to do with like poetry and whatnot, just understanding how to work certain words to make people feel a certain way or whatnot like that. But it was definitely something I had to work at. I had to like practice so much, especially with the writing part, yeah. The day I signed, like, the guy who...
How old were you then?
I was like 19, eh? Like, fresh out of school, like, looking for what to do. I knew I wanted to pursue music and do this as full-time, as it was my passion. But I was like, how will I make this?
Yeah.
How do I make this way? So, like, we done Blue and Yellow, we done the video, and the video went crazy, done like, you know, tens of thousands of views overnight sort of thing. And then we dropped another song called Rose, which was shot by my brother, S Major. And we dropped Rose, and I think then like a month after we dropped Rose, I was approached by Parachute Music. They had, because Parachute, what they were was they used to run like the biggest Christian festival in New Zealand for many years. And then the year they signed me was the year they decided to put all the money away from the festival and start putting it into artists. Okay. So like I was sort of blessed in that sense. So yeah, they a guy called Matt Eland from Parachute ended up seeing that song called Rose. It was on the radio. They were playing it on radio, but it was like a home recording and stuff. But they had it on radio and stuff in Auckland, and he had heard it. And I think the program director at Life FM, which is one of the big stations in Auckland, had forwarded the song to Matt from Parachute, and then Matt heard it, and then in 2 weeks I was signed to them. But when I signed to them, it was just like one of those things where, you know, if you really set your mind to something, you can really achieve it. It really proved me that, like, if you really, really chase something, the world will have a crazy way of bringing it to you. And it just, what it was when I signed though was very encouraging, like, yo, I can do this.
If Genesis was anything to go by, Exodus, you know,
yeah,
kind of like screams like you're not afraid to, you know,
yeah,
speak
no,
about
I
your
wasn't.
beliefs.
Yeah, I wasn't, which is funny because like, what I noticed when I was in Auckland was a lot of people were there like, oh, I do that.
Yeah.
I might not say this because it might hurt my song, but like, for me it was always about the vibe, man. Like no matter what you say, it's about the feeling you give people when you make that music, right? So like, even though people would be like, oh, you said I might change this for that, I was always like, man, if I say that and it still feels hard, I'm just leave it there, you know? And that's what it felt like to me. Like, even though I was using all these references, like some people would have been, who don't believe maybe, would have been like, it's the music was still hard, you know, so yeah. I just left it how it was, sort of thing. Yeah.
So far, you know, your musical resume, you know, it's amazing. You've you know, performed in a couple of big festivals in NZ, and as well as that, you know, you've supported other big acts as well. Definitely. What was that like for you? You know,
it was definitely crazy for me. I remember the first sort of festival I did, Cloud Festival.
Where was that?
It was in Auckland. It was in Auckland at like like one of them stadiums. I can't remember what it's not Eden Park, but the other one, like the North Shore North Harbour Stadium, which is pretty huge as well. And I was super nervous, man. I was like super nervous, but it was like as these things happen, as me playing at that festival, and then like me meeting like opening up for Tech 9, or you know, chilling out with Hobson, or like playing with 360 from Oz. All of that, each individual thing was just like a little step that like encouraged me. So like it wasn't like a whole like, oh, blew my mind sort of thing, but it was like I see each of those things as like little steps that I took that sort of opened my mind more to what I could achieve, you know, and what's possible out there. Whereas before I didn't really, you couldn't really see it until you're around these people, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's that quote? Like, you become like the people you surround yourself with, sort of thing. So it was
right.
like, as I got exposed to like all the festivals, as I got exposed to all the different artists, it sort of opened my mind and my perception on where I could go. So I think it was very good, actually. Yeah, just in terms of my perspective wise, yeah.
All right.
Showing me where I could go, what I could achieve. Like, yo, these guys are not out of reach. Because I remember at one point when I was here, man, it used to feel like America and like the industry was like
So far.
way, like I used to think, man, when I was here at school, like I was like, how can I get over there? It just seemed like too far. But doing things like that, little by little, like made it closer. Like brought it into my reach. You know what I mean? Like it made it feel like I can attain that. I can get it. Whereas before it's like how?
Yeah.
How? Yeah.
How?
Exactly.
Where's the part?
Where's the part?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So, but yeah.
Were there any influences, like, you know, were there any like, you know, artists out there that, you know, you were really, you know, hitting up and like, whoa?
Definitely. Actually, when I was here, like, because like I said, we went to Wellington when I was in year 1 and stuff. We stayed there for like 4.5 years. So I had that New Zealand root. I had New Zealand roots, right? And then when we moved back, I still look. Akon was huge then. This was like 2004, 2005. So Akon was like the biggest thing, and he had a song called "Keep On Calling" with P Money,
that's right.
and P Money was a New Zealand producer. So every time I'd hear that song, like going to school on the bus and stuff, I should feel like so proud. Oh, P Money's from New Zealand, and that used to be one of those things that made it feel closer. Like, yo, he's from New Zealand, but he's working with this guy in America and doing all this stuff. So I used to look up to P Money and all that quite a lot. I remember being here and like I used to have SoundCloud early in the days, like 20 plays or something, and I'd like spam P Money. Oh, listen to this. Oh, listen to this. Show him this. Rah, rah. Like send him all of this stuff, and then just so happened when I moved back to Auckland, done my whole thing, P Money became like the first guy to be like my mentor and like show me, oh, do this, do that. It's just, I like, again, one of those full circle things, eh? So like, definitely I would have to say P Money, man. P Money, I looked up to him a lot because of that New Zealand connection and what he was doing at the time. Where to me, it seemed like, no way, like hell no, someone from this side of the world can like go work with him and then have like a smash worldwide sort of thing, you know? Yeah. So yeah.
Did you listen to a bit of Scribe as well?
Scribe? Oh no, actually, I think I missed that, or maybe I was here and then he popped off over there. Okay. But when I went back, I sort of got clued into all he done because he came through with P Money and D-Dot and all of them, eh? Yeah. So.
Right now, over the years, while you were, you know, busy honing your craft and everything, I'd like to imagine family was played a big part in, you know, helping you, you know, reach where you're at right now.
Definitely. I think at the start, like my dad, like at the start when I was rapping, my dad didn't want to have none of it. He was like, nah, you just go to school and just go to school. Nah, hell no, you're from PNG. No, I don't want none of this like crazy mindset. But my mom was always real supportive, eh? My mom was always super supportive, and I think it's just like, my family was very supportive, but I think it's just over time as things grew and things became a bit more clearer and they could see where it was heading in the path, they became a whole lot more supportive. But yeah, from the get-go, my mom was like, son, just do what you want. You can become whatever you want to do.
And Dad was like, no, go to school.
And Dad was like, no, just go to school, bro. You know, like, yeah.
Now, speaking of family, your little brother came over and joined you in school. And a funny story, while you guys were filming Blue and Yellow, was his first day, right?
I think it was like his first day. Like he was gonna come into Mount Albert Grammar from, I think he was at Palmer's here, and he was gonna come to year 9 or 10 at Mount Albert, and it was just one of those weird things where it just so happened that on the day, like they were picking up his uniform or something, and around his first day, like we were gonna shoot the video. So, and then I remember them coming and like, whoa, for your video? Oh. Like, cause you couldn't believe that. Like, I'm from PNG, so going over there, it's like, nah, there's no way, nah. You know what I mean? Nah.
Nah, you're lying. You're kidding.
Nah. So yeah, it was one of those funny things, eh? And then, yeah, he was there at that video shoot that first time. Now when I think about it, it's really weird, but I think it was a very important part, a very important thing that happened, that he was there at the time when we were shooting the video at the start. So, because now he's taken over and Shot by S Major shoots all my videos. So it's just one of those, another full, you know, it's crazy. Yeah.
All right. Now, one of your songs was titled "Up and Comers," right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, man.
So, you know, in light of that, what word of advice would you have to give to, you know, up and comers back home here?
Bro, I would say, like, the main thing is follow your heart, because everyone, the noise around you will tell you to do this or try to pull you in that direction or this and that. But like me personally, I feel like your heart knows your path and knows where you're meant to go, sort of thing, with your life. And if you follow that, you'll be happy and you'll be successful in your endeavors and what you try to do, because I feel like ultimately your heart really knows. But I just feel like follow your heart, because your heart won't lead you wrong. This person may lead you wrong, this guy might trick you, this guy might try and take advantage of you, but if you follow your heart, you will always come back to that right path, sort of thing. That would be my biggest advice to any, because that's what I did, man. Everyone was like, no, don't do that. No, I'm like, nah, G, I'm just, in my heart told me, no, just do it and do it this way. I couldn't see the result or whatever, but I just knew I had to do it, and then I did it, and then, yeah, exactly. So I would say follow your heart. That would be my biggest thing, man. Follow your heart, yeah.
All right. Well, finally, we've got Dreamcatcher coming up.
Yes,
tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so Dreamcatcher will be a 4-track EP. The first single, Don't Know, was released actually, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. We got on Hip Hop Since 1987, which is like the biggest blog in Philadelphia. R&Based blogged it. We've got a few more other huge blogs lined up. Probably gonna get on Link Up TV in the UK, probably GRM Daily. Working on something with Complex. But yeah, I just want to make a mark, make my stamp. So we're just going to push out the first single, Don't Know, promote that real well. I'm going to come back to not New Zealand, I'm going to come back to PNG. I've been here shooting videos, but I need to get more gear, so I'm probably going to come back, and I want to shoot my Don't Know video here. Actually, while my producer was here, we shot a few scenes for Don't Know, but yeah, definitely. So that Dreamcatcher EP will be coming, hopefully, first quarter next year, first or second quarter next year. I hope to get that done. Produced by Rory Noble, my DJ, who is actually over here with me. Super talented producer. I reckon he's the future New Zealand production, period. Yeah. But that, Dreamcatcher coming soon.
Sweet. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for us on the Man Cave. Thank you very much for chilling with us on Trupla Man, and wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Daryl, same to you, man. Thank
blessings,
you. Thank you guys so much for having me.
No worries.
For the people don't know where you really gotta grind if you really want shows. We're moving up and about who.
As she came into apartment, there were bloodstains on the carpet.
To wrap things up on this week's program, remember Jeremy Mogi challenging us to an acapella challenge?
She was struck down, it was her doom. Any you okay? Any you okay?
Well, this is our reply. See you next week.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer. Well, I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Well, I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. Well, I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shawty with you, shawty with you. Under the mistletoe, yeah. Shawty with you, shawty with you. Under the mistletoe. Well, everyone's gathering around the fire, chestnuts roasting like a hot July. I should be chilling with the folks I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Word on the streets that it's coming tonight. Reindeer flying through the sky so high, and I should be making the list, I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shawty with you, shawty with you. Under the mistletoe, under the mistletoe. Shawty with you, shawty with you. Under the mistletoe. Hey love, the wise men follow the stars, the way I follow my heart. and it led me to a miracle. Hey love, so don't you buy me nothing, cause I am feeling one thing. Your lips on my lips, that's a Merry, Merry Christmas. It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets with so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Well, I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shawty with you, shawty with you, under the mistletoe, under the mistletoe. Shawty with you, shawty with you, under the mistletoe, under the mistletoe. Kiss me underneath the mistletoe, underneath the mistletoe. Show me, baby, that you love me so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kiss me underneath the mistletoe. Under the mistletoe. Show me, baby, that you love me so.
To know me, forget them, they don't know, they don't know, they don't know, they do not know, they don't know, they don't know, they do not know. I came up from the low leagues, jumping down like a bass lead. I'm trying to get a crown like a great deed, living in the now, so we plant seeds. They do not know, them men they don't know, them men they don't know, they do not know, them men they don't know, them men they don't know, they do not know, them men they don't know.